Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Terminus Zombie Survivors. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about 16 bucks or so. And I stress early access, that means everything that you're about to see is subject to change. I covered this game a while back via a quick first impressions video, and I thought I'd come back to it after a couple of years now that there's been a couple of updates. You're going to choose a character, pretty much a profession, and these professions have different starting attributes. Some of them are a bit more freeform, like they actually come with points, so you can actually assign them where you want. You can also choose between different traits as well. And, as you play this game, there's a permanent unlock system. You're going to be unlocking more professions as you play this game. So there's actually a reason to keep going. There's also a number of different difficulties that you can set. They recently added a sandbox mode to this. In addition to scenarios and the default difficulties, there's a sandbox button, and you'll be able to adjust various sliders, which is my favorite part of games like this. More games, every time I talk about difficulty, I refer back to games like Dead in Vinland, and then by extension this game, because you're able to adjust a lot of different things. You can even tone down the zombies a bit in the environment. If it's your first time playing and you want an easier time, you could do that. And you can still unlock things even in the sandbox setting. It just takes a little bit longer because you don't earn as many points. So, what is this game all about? Well, this is a turn-based zombie survival game, whereas State of Decay and Project Zomboid are real-time. This game is turn-based, and the story is similar to that of the Walking Dead TV series. At one point in the TV show, Rick, Grimes, and the others, they've heard rumors about Terminus, food, safety for all that good stuff. And then, well, if you haven't seen the show, I don't want to spoil it for you, but stuff happens. But anyway, you hear rumors of a place called Terminus, and you've got this gigantic map, and you have to find it. Now, you can find radios and other sources of information to try and find it on your map, and once you do get its location, your goal is to get there. In between are a number of different checkpoints. One location will have dotted lines that lead to another location. It's just like a series of mini locations, mini instances. One instance might have a house. One instance might be a railroad. One instance might be a pharmacy. One instance might be a grocery store. And obviously these structures have different resources in them. And while you're traveling from location to location, you're fending off zombies, and you're also managing your health and different things like that. There are a number of different survival bars in this game. There's HP, there's satiety, which is like food, you've got hydration, there's energy, and morale. So there's a number of different things that you have to do to keep up with everything. And because this is a turn-based game, there's also an AP system, action points. And depending on how much you're carrying, you'll be able to do so many things per turn. The more stuff that you're carrying, the more action points you spend to do things. So there's a reason that you may want to travel light, but there are backpacks, there's fanny packs, there's shoulder bags that you can equip to your character that will sort of lessen the load on your character if you are carrying a whole bunch of stuff. There's a weather system in this game, so you lose action points for being out in the rain. You can repair cars in this game and store things in cars, and so as long as you've got the fuel, you can drive from location to location. And the typical turn is just you spend action points up until you don't want to anymore or you run out. And then you hit the end turn button. And then other survivors and zombies take their turn, assuming there are any in that current instance. And then you go back to your turn again. So yeah, you're just going to be looting things in the environment. There's a big looting aspect, although you can interact with, say, if you end your movement on a desk space, you can read books on that space more efficiently. So you can learn more skills, you can learn cooking recipes, different skills and perks. You can increase your passive morale per turn if you read this book. It takes a while, but if you do it, you get you get more of an advantage that way. You can find wristwatches that allow you to set a time whenever you go to sleep. Pillows and blankets. You can end your movement on a couch space and then hit the sleep button. You can sleep anywhere. but if you sleep on the couch location, it's 50% more efficient. You can start fires pretty much anywhere. I didn't see fire spreading or anything like that. Even though I started a fire what looked like on a wall, it didn't matter. Maybe I just got lucky and nothing spread, but it was just quote-unquote a campfire, so maybe I did it in a controlled way and the UI and the graphics just look weird, but anyway. Once you get a campfire going, you can cook a variety of different things, assuming you've got the raw ingredients on hand. There is food spoilage in this game. Everything starts off like electricity and water, whereas in Project Zomboid, like you start with the electricity and water on by default, and then it gets turned off sometime during your playthrough. In this game, everything is already turned off, and whatever you find in the environment is what you find. But that being said, I did come across like a hand crank for like electricity, so I'm guessing maybe there are generators in this game, but I have not come across anything like that yet. At least in I spent about an hour or two on the one playthrough that I did, and it was, I got there to Terminus fairly quickly, but only because I had the difficulty turned down. I drove most of the way because I found a car, I repaired it, and then I found a whole bunch of fuel. So I skipped a lot of locations in between and just got to Terminus quickly. I used a radio to figure out how to get to Terminus. The combat is fairly simple. Whenever it's your turn, like again, the zombies take their turn after you end your turn. But before you end your turn, you can go up to a zombie and you can whack it like in the face, the body, or the legs. And different weapons have different bonuses, like the bat is great against the legs. And if you actually take out the legs, the zombies fall down to the ground and start crawling toward you instead. So yeah, there's a combat mechanic to this game. It's not terribly like overly complicated, but it's still a lot of fun. And this is where the professions come into play. If you suspect that you're going to be fighting a lot, bring a profession that is going to be good against fighting, zombies and the like. So I chose the firefighter for my first playthrough. There's like 3 professions in the beginning, and the firefighter was the one I chose because he seemed pretty well-rounded and good at combat, so. Anyway, like I said, you're going to be unlocking more professions over time, and the game actually keeps track of what professions you've completed the game with and with what perks you've completed the game with. And perks could range from like a coffee drinker gets double the bonus for drinking coffee, alcohol drinker gets double the bonus for drinking alcohol, that kind of thing. So do I recommend this game? Absolutely 100%. There are a ton of zombie survival games out there, and some of them are good and some of them are not. A lot of developers try to cash in on this particular zombie scene, but Project Zomboid and State of Decay 2 still my favorite games out of most of them. But this one is up there, and this is still early access. And it was really well done based on what I've seen. And if this is like the early access version, I'm really excited and curious to see what else is going to get added to it, because it already feels like a complete game, but I want to know what else the developer plans to do with it. I'm really curious. So there you go, folks. Definitely grab this one if it's on sale. Terminus Zombie Survivors. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.